Guys, today I'm gonna show you a very easy recipe that everybody already knows how to make, but I'm gonna show you some even lazier ways to make it. I'm gonna make a chicken soup. I'm still trying to decide if I want to do noodles or rice. So I have some celery that I already had cut and frozen from my garden. And I'm gonna cut some carrots. And I do not like the texture of onions. You probably do, so you should chop some onions at this point too. And you can go crazy and saute them with a little bit of olive oil. I don't want a lot of extra fat in my soup because I don't like that either. So I'm just gonna dump everything in and just boil it as it is. So I would say 1 or 2 sticks of celery and 2 carrots. So you just put it in the pot. I am not gonna worry about sauteing these. I don't think it makes a huge difference, and I don't have a lot of time. So this is all I'm doing. And then I have a chicken breast that I just thawed. And I like to take scissors and get out all the stuff that I don't like to eat. But you know who likes to eat this is my dog Snowflake. So I will take this and I will cook it for her. But I do not want to find fat in my soup. So anything that's white, I trim off with scissors. Even this tiny thing. And this. Because if I find this in my plate, it's just gonna gross me out. Snowflake, on the other hand, is not very picky, like most dogs. And this is better for her than any dog food that you can find. Okay, this is nice and clean now. And I just thawed this, so it's still a little bit hard, so it might be easy to cut with a knife. But if it's soft, I usually just cut it with scissors, and I might do the same with this one at some point. And these gloves say one size fits all, but they are way too big. I'm afraid I'm gonna cut them into the soup. So my plan is to do a soup recipe every Sunday. I stole the recipe from my friend Susan. Not the recipe. No, I did not steal the chicken recipe. Everybody knows how to make chicken soup. I stole the idea from her because she makes soup every Sunday in the winter, and I love seeing her pictures. And I'm not gonna plagiarize. I'm gonna make my own soup, but I thought, what a cool idea to do a soup every Sunday. It's inexpensive and It's nice and comforting. It's gonna teach my kids to eat foods that are mixed together, because normally I make soup for them, but it's just broth and noodles. And I don't mind doing that sometimes. But it cannot be like that every time. They need to learn to eat some vegetables and learn to love the texture. So I'm just cubing this chicken. That green thing is some celery, it's nothing gross. So my other trick is, whenever I cook chicken with bones, I debone it for my family before I serve it to them, because I don't want them to get their slobber all over the bones. And then I cook the bones with onion and celery and carrots, and I make bone broth. You should never spend money on bone broth that's been canned. First of all, it doesn't sound right to me to can meat. I don't know. It's just, I mean, I guess I eat tuna, so it's the same. But it's so easy to make, and bone broth is so expensive. Like chicken stock is cheap, but bone broth is crazy expensive, I guess because it's on trend. So I would just buy, drumsticks are very cheap, and chicken leg quarters are very, very cheap. Very cheap, like 60 cents or something a pound. So you can buy those, and you can mix them with carrots and celery and onions and cook your own broth. And then you can freeze it, or you can use it right away. However you want to do it is fine. And then you can use it next time. And ooh, those gloves are nasty. So this is all I do. I was too lazy to thaw out a thing of broth today, and let me tell you what, it's totally okay to just use water. So that's what I'm gonna do. I'm just gonna do water for this soup. I'm gonna add some water to the pot. This is totally acceptable to just do water and boil your own. I see that a lot of recipes in America call for chicken stock or vegetable stock, but this is chicken and vegetable stock. You are boiling chicken and vegetables in water. So I don't like to use processed things. Unless I can get chicken stock and vegetable stock from my grandmother or something, I'm not gonna buy it in a can or a box to put it in my fresh soup. That doesn't sound right to me. So now I'm gonna let it boil. Actually, I'm gonna add some salt. I'm gonna add quite a bit of salt. And I eyeball everything. So about a tablespoon. I might need more. Let's do a little bit more. If it needs more, I will add more. But back to the stock. So after I make the stock, I take the bones, I take out the onion. I take out the onion, because that's not good for snowflake. So I take out as much of the onion as I can, but a little bit of onion is okay. And then I boil that again. So the bones and the carrots and the celery, and I add some rice. I boil that to death. I let it cool down, and then I put it in my Blendtec mixer, blender. So don't use another blender because I don't know if another one would work, but I can tell you the Blendtec would work. I put that in the Blendtec and I turn it into dog food. So there's zero waste in this household, and Snowflake absolutely loves it. So now I'm gonna put this on the burner. Move some stuff out of the way so you can see it. There it is. So I'm gonna let it cook for about at least 30 minutes for the carrots to cook. Everything else will be cooked. The carrots will cook last. So I'm gonna cook it for 30 minutes, and once the carrots are cooked, I'm gonna add the noodles. And I like to use a very short pasta like the ABC noodles or the star noodles if I have them. If not, I'll break spaghetti into like really small pieces, that's something that would fit on your spoon. I don't like the regular egg noodles because they always slide out of my spoon and they frustrate me. So this is it. Super basic, super lazy chicken soup that you can make on any day of the week, but especially on a cold, rainy Sunday like today. I hope you enjoy it. Talk to you soon. Bye. Okay, I'm back. This has boiled for a long time now. Probably a little bit more than 30 minutes. It smells good. It does not look pretty. So here's what I'm gonna do now. I'm gonna add some onion powder because, like I said, I don't love cooked onions. I don't like the texture, but I love the taste. So I love onion powder, and actually I'm gonna do a little bit of garlic powder too. Just a tiny bit. So I did onion powder. I'm gonna do a little bit of parsley. And I'm gonna do some paprika just for color, just because it's so ugly. Oh, this is kind of empty. Let me see. See what I can squeeze out of here. Okay, I just need a tiny bit just to give it a little bit of color so it's not so ugly. Same with a little bit of turmeric. There we go. It already looks better. And then Kurt is not home, so I can do rosemary because he doesn't like rosemary and chicken soup, and I love it. And then I'm gonna do some lemon juice. And I found the shortest pasta there is. I found some orzo, and this says 15 minutes. So I'm gonna dump maybe the whole thing in there. Yeah, why not? And I'm gonna cook it for another 15 minutes. It might be too much pasta, but that's okay. And that is all you need. So let's recap the ingredients again. You need water. I should have done this first, but you need water, not stock necessarily. Onion, carrots, and celery. You can do onion powder instead of onions if you're like me and you don't like the texture of onions. Chicken. I only use one chicken breast because I like it to be more brothy. And then a lot of onion powder, a tiny bit of garlic powder, a tiny bit of paprika and turmeric, and then parsley and rosemary, and lemon juice. You can skip the lemon juice if you don't like the tart taste. I'm from Romania, so we like all of our soups tart. We usually use something called borscht. It's a fermented wheat juice that we use. But you can do vinegar. Apple cider vinegar is very healthy, or lemon juice, or whatever you like in your soup. Give this a try, and next week I'm gonna show you another fun soup that I make all the time. Bye.